We're back, motherfuckers, we're back. New York Comic Con 2021. See, vaccinated wristband. Finally get to take this off. Yeah, we're fucking back. Everyone who was mad that, I was gonna attend, be mad. And it's funny, because then a lot of people end up buying tickets, and that's how, Sunday got sold out, because everybody got that FOMO. But anyway, I love how, so I initially bought tickets, and I was only able to get Thursday, Friday, fine, which were the days we ended up going. And then a lot of people either refunded or resold their tickets because there was the mandate of you need to be fully vaccinated, both shots, all that shit to the face, to be able to enter the building. And I'm like, whatever, I got my shit, let's do it. And yeah, so then obviously Saturday tickets became unsold out, and I was just like, whatever. And the upside, because you had to be a considerate human being to go into New York Comic Con, was that everybody was fucking immensely nice this year. There were times where I was like, am I in New York? Am I home? Am I in New York? What? I mean, I've gone to New York Comic Con since it started, in 2006. So I've I'm one of those assholes. I've been there from the beginning, and 90% of the time, everyone's nice. But there's always the few people, whether in or out of costume people. It doesn't even really matter if you're a costume person or not. Just people. They're just gonna be fucking assholes, And this time it was just everyone was nice. Everyone was nice. Oh my god. It was just it really was a thing of oh my god, am I in New York? I kept having to look over at Paul and be like, dude, we're home, right? This is home base? Everyone's so fucking nice. Because, we're all considerate people, and we all got fucking vaccinated, and we all, decided to keep our mask on and all that stuff, and, again, everyone's super, because, okay, because we did Street Fighter on Thursday, and then we did, and then we did Star Wars on Friday, and Street Fighter on Thursday, because it's mine and Paul's 10th anniversary of being costume buddies together and all that stuff. So we're might as well bring it back from the beginning of the first costume we ever did together kind of shit. Awesome. And it was great because it was just my costume was a little zhuzhed up. I had my bison bucks, all that shit. Great. Paul's was pretty much the newer design of Akuma, which was awesome because it's before there was that shitty wig. We don't even talk about her. Now it's he's got the big spiked wig, which some people thought he was Blanca, but Blanca is literally all green and not in a blue gi, but whatever, what do I know? And that was cool, and also it was an easy costume because I was just myself, and I didn't expand. It wasn't my social distancing costume as practically every one of my costumes are. And it was great, and everyone loved us and all that stuff. And then the next day we did Star Wars, and then I later learned that there was going to be a Star Wars meetup on Saturday, which wouldn't have done shit because I wasn't I was going to be able to go anyway because I didn't have tickets. And again, everyone's really nice because when we wore, or really more about me than him, when I wore my Jabba the Hutt, costume in 2019, I got yelled at by fans. They were like, it's not the right color! Jabba's not that color! Blah, 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 all that stuff. They're like, it was a lot of that. This time, everyone's like, oh my god, it's so cute! That voice, I don't know why I used that one. But everyone's like, oh my god, that's such a great design. I'm like, thank you so much. And people are like, I've never seen, I'm like, yes, I know, I'm just gonna be, yes, I know I'm the only Jabba. I feel great because of that. I'm usually not one to be like, I'm so good. But this time, I just, for once in my life, I want to be like, I am currently doing the Jabba the Hutt costume out there. I mean, and especially in the form that I do it in the dress and all that stuff. Because I've seen a couple others where it's literally just like, it's like the Dino Inflato suit thing, but it's Jabba, which is fine, you can do that. But, you know, I just like my version better because, like, I was, like, using, like, my brain, and I was like, I'm so good. Anyway, but again, everyone was very nice. Like, I'm gonna keep stating that because, again, I'm not used to people being nice to me, so it's just like, oh. But yeah, like, everyone was super nice. Everyone was, like, great. We were all just, like, everyone was just happy to just go to Comic-Con again, you know? Like, we missed a year, you know, Paul and I call it the blip year, you know? It's like, it's good to be back. It's like, it's good to be just kind of, like, you know, like, not trying to say the thing that we were all trying to, like, that we were all saying, like, a year ago, but, like, kind of go back to some sort of normalcy. It's like, cool. Oh, you just have to wear a mask to show that you're vaccinated? Okay, woo, such an inconvenience for us. Like, it's whatever, you know? Like, it's literally not a fucking problem. It's actually better because there's so much less makeup I have to apply to my face. Like, when I did Bison, like, I literally, like, I did, like, just, like, this. And the same thing with Jabba. So that means all the fucking face stuff, all that stuff, I didn't have to paint. I just, like, did my eye makeup and, you know, really just a little bit concealer, maybe some foundation. That's why I did, you know, it was mainly just, like, my under eye, you know, just that is always just gonna be dark. But yeah, other than that, it's just, like, eye makeup, and it was great, and I didn't have to do any of this, because it was under a mask, and it was fucking awesome. It was like, oh my god, so less makeup, yes. And it was that, and also the great thing about wearing a mask is that, like, when you pose, you just gotta do the eyes, you know, because I don't have to be like, like, you know, you could just be like, your face, your mouth could just be like, while your eyes are, like, intense. It's great. It's good. People complaining, shut the fuck, like, again, everyone's great. Everyone followed the rules, you know. Oh, and because it was, like limited, I was going to say limited seating, like, limited entry, even though it's still Javits, it was still a lot of people. It was still a lot of people, but compared to how Comic-Con normally is, it's nowhere near that, which I like that it's not that crazy, because it really feels like how it was, like, 10 years ago. You, like, literally go like this and, like, spin around, like, look at all this room, you know. Again, like, I just, like, you know, I'm so happy we're back at it, you know, like, it feels good to be back, it feels good to do New York Comic Con again, it feels so good to, like, run into my buddies that I usually run into at cons, the ones who have tables, booths, you know, the ones who attend, you know, like, it's good, you know, it's kind of like, hey, cool, I finally get to, like, see you in person and, like, chat with you a bit, you know, rather than just kind of, like, random, maybe a DM, maybe, like, like a, you know, like a like on your Instagram kind of stuff. It's like, it's good to just be like, oh my god, let's just, like, kind of, like, shit talk for, like, you know, 20 minutes or whatever the fuck, you know? And again, it was great. Like, I'm obviously very happy. I'm very tired, but I'm very happy, you know, like, kids, we did it, you know? Again, I would have loved to have been there the entire weekend, probably not Sunday, but I probably, like, you know, I would have loved to have been there Saturday, you know, because that's usually we do, like, Friday, Saturdays, you know, that kind of stuff. But again, whatever, I had a great time, you know, again, I'm gonna keep repeating it, we're back at it, you know, just, like, you know, like, especially after, like, Dragon Con, like, kicked our ass, because it was, like, our first time doing, like, a con again, and it was an entire week, and completely somewhere we've never been to before, you know, an entire, like, never been to Atlanta, never done Dragon Con, never done a convention where it was pretty much a party, you know, less capitalism, you know, weird, you know, so, like, never done that. The scheduling was different, so it was just like, where do we go? Who, like, where, like, it's just like, how far is the travel? I don't know, food places, people, also, again, it was the South, so, it was just like, oh, what does my queer ass do? I'll just stand here and be really uncomfortable, you know, whereas, again, you know, New York Comic Con is home base, it is home, you know, again, I've been going since, like, the inception of it, you know, and all that stuff, so, yeah, You know, like it's like the constant in my year. It's like every year I'm going to New York Comic Con. Like, you know, no matter what, I'm fucking going. You cannot stop me from going. You know, so yeah, I'm glad again. Like, met a lot of really nice people. Again, everyone I met was really nice. Got a bunch of pictures taken. You know, and it was funny because I was saying this while we were at Dragon Con. I was like, man, I was like, maybe it's a New York thing, or maybe, you know, like, it was like I was getting doubtful about, like, you know, my costumes and skills. I was like, maybe it's a New York thing, maybe it's just my costumes weren't good enough, because a lot of people at Dragon Con, like, they went all out, like, no joke, obviously I did too, um, you know, blah, 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 my brain, um, yes, because it's like, you know, that night I'm looking through the tags, and it's like, oh, I don't see us, I don't see, okay, oh, I found one. And it's like, geez, a week later, I'm like, just found one pick, or like, okay, I got this person's card, cool, there's a couple picks, you know, it was like, you know, that kind of stuff. And it turns out, nah, it's a New York thing, because it's like, before I even left the con, someone I normally see at cons, just like, whatever picture they took of me, bam, already tagged. And then I looked through the tag that evening, couple more picks. A few days later, you know, like, I guess it is a New York thing where we're just, it's, you know, what we do. We gotta go feast, you know, that kind of stuff. Yeah, I don't know what else to say. Like, I didn't buy anything because, you know, like, money. Also, this year, what made it really... So, like, it's set up how normally New York Comic Con is, so it's not really... Like, again, every year it's the same thing, but fuck it. Like, I still go and I don't care. The major difference is that it was... A lot of the big Western companies were not there. So no Marvel, no DC, no Vertigo, no Dark Horse, no Image Comics, you know, Midtown Comics wasn't there. So these big ones weren't there. And it was a lot more like anime related stuff, which whatever, like, oh, what am I gonna be mad? So the usual anime stuff was there, but then it was just like kind of a little bit more, which again, fine. Saw a lot of, like, Paul's a huge fan of One Piece, so I saw a lot of that, which is great, you know, because again, the dude's a fan of it, so why not? There was Demon Slayer, which it's the one where the girl has like the bamboo thing on her mouth, and I'm always just like, why? I don't know. Paul explained to me, and I go, okay, that's why. I don't know. I'm not a fan of anime. I know, blah, blah, blah. I'm just like, whatever. So they got their thing, you know. People years ago when at New York Comic Con and New York Anime Festival decided to become one thing, it's like, look, hey, you finally got your like Anime Fest back. Everyone, shut the fuck up. Like, they got so mad. They were like, they hate anime, and that's, like, they hate anime, that's why they want to combine it into one huge con. Like, okay, you know, like, whatever, bitches. Yeah, Artist Alley was a decent size. I mean, I went to go just see my friend. I didn't go to see anyone else. I didn't walk the whole Artist Alley, I just went to go see my buddy. There was they made a new building that hasn't fully, like, it's connected, but they didn't, like, you know, because there was like a big like, you know, door, like a garage door thing, but they didn't open it, which I understand why. But it was like, because I had another friend who was in like it was called like community room, and I was like, where's that? It was like, I'm trying to look at the map, it said like level 4, and I was like, oh, probably, you know, that middle part where the escalators go up and there's like a circular thing and you go up. And we went up there day 2, and it was just like press, and I was like, wait a second. And I was like, I'm looking for a community room, and the guy only saw me in costume, was like, oh, you want the cosplay central? I was like, no, I know that's downstairs, Jesus. But you go out to the new building, and you go up well, we went up the escalator first, and then we took the elevator down, because, like, the second set of escalators, I was like, it was like early 90s, like, World Trade Center kind of escalators, where it's just like, it's like 1,000 bajillion feet, and I almost actually fell down them because of my dress, so I was like, ah! And my buddy was like, because that's where most of the panels were, which was great, you know, and in the new building, it felt like how, if you ever were on the C2E2, the Chicago one, like how those things were, and it's nice and spruce and all that stuff, and, you know, lots of room, you know, because no one's really there, because everyone's mostly there for panels. And yeah, my buddy was in like the community room thing with like her table all the way like at the far end. I was like, oh my god, Jesus Christ. And it was great to see her, but it was just kind of like, oh, I had no idea how to find you and all that stuff. Because I was confused. I was like, 400? What's 4? I'm like, oh, that's the new building. I was like, you know? But yeah, like it. Speaking words and phrases, that part was kind of a little confusing. But other than that, like everything was kind of like the same old shit as always. Um, yep, it's always sirens because you know it's a goddamn tri-state area. Um, yeah, just same vibe, same everything. One downside, it's my own stupidity. So obviously after Dragon Con ended, I just pretty much just like took whatever I had for Dragon Con and just took away things I didn't need, you know. So it's like, all right, we're just doing 2 costumes instead of like a bajillion costumes. And I like repacked everything for like Paul's stuff on one side, had my stuff on that, and I did everything right except for I forgot to fucking pack his boots for his Mace Windu costume. So he ended up wearing like loafers, and and he also posed where his cloak kind of was like in the way, so you couldn't really tell, which I'm glad. But oh my, I felt so bad. Like we were like, all right, we're good. Let's start, you know, putting the last bits and pieces of our costume on, head out the door. He's like, where are my boots? And I was like, I knew I forgot something. You know, I was like, I knew I fucking forgot something, and it was that. Like shit. You know, I felt so bad. I mean, you know, what were we gonna do? It was like, we're gonna like run back home. Like, I don't live that close to, you know, like the Jabbits and all that stuff. There was no way, you know. It literally would have been a whole day, you know, if I would have done that. Yeah, so I mean, again, no one noticed, and everyone was like, "Oh, hey, it's Mace Windu, cool." And then they were like, "Oh my god, you're fucking Jabba," all that stuff. So again, it wouldn't have made a difference. But God, I felt so fucking bad because it's like we don't do that, you know, like, you know what I mean? It's like, no, we're always prepared. We're never underprepared, you know. And again, and I made the joke with Paul saying like, oh God, we're gonna be those people that I always say where I was like, people were like, they you know, get all dressed up and everything's great, but like the shoes, like I always judge that on people where I'm like, come on, man, the shoes. And I was like, oh God, we're those people now. We got the whole costume, but the shoes, you know. Again, no one noticed, and if anyone would have said something, would have been like, well, fuck you, man. You know, again, it was great. Again, I had a great time. I'm gonna keep saying how I'm happy. I know it's a rarity that I say I'm happy, but I'm happy, you know, because again, New York Comic Con is my jam. Was it? I have a event. I'm gonna do a table. I haven't done that since that failure of February of 2020. I'm gonna do like a small business Saturday thing in Trenton. So now is the time for me to prep and get all that done. There's so many fetuses, so many things. Yeah, gonna do all that, and then yes, if you guys would like to Venmo me money, that'd be great. I'm still unemployed. Yeah, I don't know what else I'm talking about. I'm just happy we're back at New York Comic Con. Anyway, I don't know.